Good evening and welcome to the spoiler log race. It's the second week running of this type of flag set where the runners get 10 minutes to read a spoiler log and try and plot out their routes. Tonight we've got Panzer Dave and Mr. Dunlow on the restream. Should be fun to see how they diverge early on in this one. I'm Furious K alongside Chess Jerk. Chess Jerk, you were here last week. Was there any major divergence between the two on Restream, or did they kind of follow the same path on that one?
I believe that they did have some divergence, although that may have been due to their play styles probably. But it'll be interesting to see how they do this seed tonight, because as far as we can tell, the only required item we know right now for exploration is the raft, because one of the levels, I believe it's level 8, is on the raft coast spot. Beyond that, we will only need other things like the recorder if certain bosses are in the way. Plus, obviously, with the spoiler log, it's keys or bombs or whoever, we don't know. There could be things blocking other things that we don't know yet. So it may not be as obvious as it could be. And also, obviously, silver's in 9. That could be hilarious. So we'll see.
Yeah, the first couple of things to note, more so than the Armos item and the ladder item, is the fact that the white sword stays the same. So with it being over there at the grave push block where magical sword usually is, you'd think that some of the runners might opt into kind of gathering up all the take any ones they can for hard containers and then heading that way, as opposed to getting out of the wood sword cave, which is over by the desert shop.
Yeah, especially since, as I see on the map, we start pretty close to that spot. So having going to gather hearts and then doing a quick up A save and go back to that may be a good play. Having a white sword early on could definitely help with if combat is annoying in dungeons.
Yeah, the other thing I'm kind of looking at here as they're about to get underway, we have level 2 up on Death Mountain, and that's a kind of early kind of orphan spot by itself. Would you think that maybe a runner dips in there early to see if perhaps there's a freebie wand and kind of use that as a combat upgrade early as well?
For sure. That is absolutely a good play, possibly. I mean, if anything, if you have easy access to, if nothing else, a candle, and get yourself started, possibly. Although that would take away one of your hearts for a possible white sword. So, not sure. I did not look at where all the take any's are. I don't know how many are easily accessible in this overworld, but if there are, I would think, if it were me, I'd probably go the route of gathering hearts. I know, shocking, but gathering hearts to go and get hopefully an easy white sword. Cheap bombs, that's always a nice thing too.
Yeah, so some of the take guineas are out of the way. Like there's one up on Death Mountain West at what I call B1, but it's just below Second Quest 9. I believe there's one over by Vanilla level 5. There's one over by the Armos item in this one, which in this case the Armos item is the Northern Forest spot, and the Eastern one happens to be a take any one, I believe. So there's at least 3 there that are accessible. I didn't get a chance to quickly read through and find the 4th one, but 3 of them being available is enough to get on the max roll.
For sure. And you might see, if you go ultra aggressive, you might at least just go to 5 hearts and then take the 2 out of 3 chance that you can still get the white sword. I'm assuming that the heart shuffle is on for the white sword pickup. I did not check that.
Yep, here is the first of the hearts, and Dave is going to take that. The last one, now that I'm reading through it, is at the dead end in the Dead Woods, the open cave there, so that's a freebie as well.
All right. A bit out of the way, but looks like Dunlow is actually headed that way.
We might see Dave, now that he took that death, go and do the world wrap just for the free item.
So he's going to check white sword first, yeah.
Yeah, check white sword first. Hopefully gets unlucky. Yep, he does.
You hate to see it. I see Dunlow obviously playing as Michelangelo. He doesn't have heart. He has pizza.
Yeah, a little bit surprised he didn't continue into the bow on the coast, just because it's there and you're kind of heading that way. But Dave now going to Western Death Mountain to be one spot, I would think. May have some money marked off as well up there. I'm not sure how much is up there, but once he gets that heart, will he go back for the white sword again? Probably.
He might be waiting until he actually has the white sword before going to get the bow, knowing he's got to do it again anyway. I mean, unless you're going to buy arrows, when you get the bow really doesn't make that much difference.
Yeah, the arrows, I believe, are in the... I want to say they're in the rare shop. They're in the shop 4. Very cheap, though.
Shop 4 is on D8. D8 is vanilla 1, so easily accessible. Beefy Octoroks, jeez. That Octorok took that bomb like a champ.
Alright, Dunlow goes for the candle out of the wood sword cave, so that is in fact going to be the strategy they're going for, I think.
It's a good strategy.
Yeah, it does take a little bit of time, whereas if you take the wood sword, maybe you get going a little bit quicker, but definitely going to be the combat upgrade.
I would say in the long run. I mean, because it is with the spoiler log races that tend not to be as long. So having for a 30 maybe plus minute run, not as long to have White Sword, but still having White Sword at 4 minutes, like Dave. I think that's a good way to go about figuring out what's going on in the seed.
Yep. So Dave now heading down towards the plethora of dungeons, I suppose, although I don't think he has the candle yet, so probably has to pick between 5 and 6 if he goes that way, or he's going here for the Inni road, so let's see where he opts to go.
Looks like he's heading for the level 1 area, but like you mentioned, he doesn't have a candle yet.
Yeah,
he does have a take any right here.
Well, good enough.
The free candle, rather, yes. Right. Off to level 1 he goes, I assume.
It's either level 1 or level 2. I think either one of those is a solid play. Level 2's on its own, but it's close enough to your start screen, whereas level 1 was fairly close to where he was, but also is easily available via the World Wrap.
Very true. You could easily go to World Wrap, get your bow, and go right to 1.
I like the play he's going to end up making here, though. This is level 4 that he's heading to. That's the Inni key.
So, yes, that's an excellent play. Taking the key problem out of the equation, definitely a good move.
So level 4 is very much a linear dungeon up the right side. I believe the staircase he's looking for is going to be up in the middle, and there's a confirmation that we have the walkthrough walls on.
One of the more interesting additions that second quest brought upon us.
The moment he walked into this room, I was really hoping for some shenanigans, but the dark room, just a bunch of ropes.
That small hope it was the bait block.
Yeah, hoping for the bait block and hoping he accidentally left his mic on because you'd hear him just laugh.
That would never happen. Bait block. Well, I guess you worry about a key blocked any key, possibly, although it seems that is not the case.
Meanwhile, Mr. Dunlow, now that he's got the white sword, is going to go ahead and grab that potion, which will make it easier to survive in dungeons, so I don't see anything wrong with that at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't make it any easier to dodge some stuff on the overworld, so...
No, it does not. I mean, looking at other possible good items to find, obviously the red ring in level 8. Problem is, if 8's gigantic and you find early Triforce, who knows? Might be worth the investment, depending on how the seed goes. I mean, we obviously don't know how many Wizrobe dungeons there are going to be. So, ooh, an early compass. Oh, Dave, what did Dave skip? He skipped the room with the Triforce then.
I think it was a bunch of junk in that room. It was just a random hodgepodge room. Nope, it was Keys. You just skipped Keys.
They were too far apart. Say, I'm not clearing this room. It'll take too long.
Alright, so quality of life item number 1 taken care of.
There's the big secret for 96. Good to have extra money just in case.
And northbound we go.
I wonder if he's going to buy arrows. Yep, he's going to buy arrows. I like this play. I like this play. You're going to get that bow eventually. This will actually entice him, I guess, to go maybe up A world wrap, get the bow, and go to 1, possibly, or do 2 first. You can do 2 first, obviously. But with wood arrows, and if he gets the wand out of 2, and with white sword, pretty good combat advantage, I would say.
We're now going to get a look at this beautiful level 1 the moment we find the map. Hopefully we find it soon because it's great.
It is heavily segmented.
And while the runners have the map, I would suspect that for the most part they continue picking it up because there is a little bit of weirdness with the way it's labeled in the spoiler log with the staircases. So it can get a little bit confusing if the staircase leads to its one-off room, because the staircase occupies a tile on a map. So sometimes it occupies the tile right next to the dungeon proper.
Yeah, that's definitely why we recommend, before doing these types of races, if you've never seen the spoiler log, you probably want to try one out first, because they can be a bit jarring to look at first, but once you get used to them, it's not so bad.
This is a
There
great
seem to be some beefy blue dark nuts here. Not gonna lie, he's done a lot of combat, and I don't think he's killed any of them yet.
Dunlow's getting close to that max money now with another large secret pickup.
Getting bodied by the blue dark nuts.
The blue ring, if either runner opts into it, will be the normal price. The red ring, being a level 8, isn't particularly thrilling to go get.
Blue ring shop is shop 3. There's one on Death Mountain. There's one near. Oh, there's one on your. Is that on your start screen? Isn't that? Oh, there's one next to the start screen. Oh, so I guess that's the blue. Is that that vanilla? Is that the vanilla blue ring shop? I think.
Could be.
Then I know there's one in the Lost Woods.
Another one should be right below level 1.
Yeah, and then there's one on the coast. So easily accessible. I mean, say getting money for a blue ring, not a bad play also, because who knows where red ring could be very hard to get or impossible to get quickly in level 8.
I don't mind the early resource play from Dunlow. You want to get a little bit of that money and some of the things you need to buy out of the way early so that you can just keep going dungeon to dungeon to dungeon after that.
Oh, did we see a Goma block already? I must have missed that.
It's possible. We still have a little bit more to look at.
Okay.
There is
level 2's map is also pretty interesting, not gonna lie.
Yep, another beautiful triple segment.
And last week we had, I think, 5 segmented dungeons. This time we only have 2, but they are both triple segmented, so I guess that counts too.
I think technically we have one of those not segmented but totally staircase one-off segmented dungeons in this, but...
Oh, okay, gotcha. I will leave it to whatever your philosophical bent is to decide if that's actually segmented or not. It's unfortunate that Dave used his last bomb there. I don't know if that was accidental. Dunlow getting swarmed by these high HP ropes.
That is the Darknet room of fun that the Triforce
That's
is
what
in.
Triforce is? Ouch.
Yeah,
I spent 5 minutes in that room and didn't kill a single blue Darknet. What the heck?
It looks like he's going to opt to go back to it and go for it.
I would think, wouldn't you wait until you have the wand to do that? That would make a lot more sense in my mind. Make combat easier.
No, he's going to hope for a bomb drop, doesn't get it. And now we play everybody's favorite game get away from the blue or get away from the red bubbles and find the blue bubble when they only chase you 25% of the time, according to the game. In the meantime, Dunlo is going to catch up quickly through this level 4 item right above the Triforce, which he cleared the room so he knows it's there.
It's always nice having red Gurias being minus HP. Good source of bombs, possibly.
I do think this is the right play, though. Get out of level 2, since it's not going to work out for you with your current bomb count.
And especially knowing that bombs are cheap, too, and they're near your start screen.
Might opt to just start clearing out some of these other dungeons. Alternatively, could be going to level 3 and then world wrapping around for the bow again, since we know there are some Gomas, at least in the boss groups and in the dungeons.
Might also think about tackling 5, 6, and 7, which are all in a row along the southern part of the map here.
Going to start with level 6, which is the only one that you actually need to get the item out of. If you tackle all 3 of these by chance, then you can do the world wrap into 1 and 8 after clearing level 3, and you'll basically have everything but 2 done at that point.
Looks like the raft is easy to get, too. Take this staircase, and then the item staircase is one left of where you come out. So pretty easy to get, just a matter of where the Triforce is. Although Dave's going right for some reason, I'm not sure why.
That's the classic, I didn't read the map quite properly. You turned around.
Classic case of we know too much. And now he looks at the map like, oh, right, left. Yes. Oh, well then, isn't that interesting?
I think you just leave and you just go get it immediately. So you're in the lead if you go to the coast first. So Dunlo is going to catch up to Dave just because he's already been there. It's kind of one of the reasons why I prioritize stuff like bow, but also flute a little bit earlier than most in these spoiler seeds, because you just never know when you're going to get trolled.
And also, I mean, just traveling around the map in general can be easier too.
All right, Dave, going to try level 3 now. Just try and get it out of the way.
Except there are more fun blue darknuts.
Now's the perfect time to get a compass that points back to one of the 2 rooms so far.
Yes. Oh, and he kills himself on his phone fire. That, you hate to see that.
Well, for all the seeds that Dave has rolled me, this is just kind of karma coming back, I suppose. Free Triforce and 7 for Dunlo to get to, pretty much. So
very nice.
In and out of there in a hurry. Will not, unfortunately, get the heart container for the commentary team. We'll just have to let that one
I'm disappointed. Oh, look at that. And the Triforce is free in 3. I'm disappointed. Oh well. What can you do? It is what it is.
Taking a look,
I'm okay. I'm okay with the Goma blocks. If we got multiple Goma blocks, then I'll forgive the seed for that.
He actually walked right past the staircase for what it's worth. Dave, I guess, trying to take care of all these levers, making sure they don't troll him, although there's still one threatening.
It kind of reminds me of the river spots that you need a ladder to check when enemies spawn on the cave if you've opened it ahead of time. It's like they spawned on the platform with the bows, kind of waiting for you.
All right, here comes the quick level 1 dig. We'll have to come back for 8.
Really hoping the map shows up.
I think the Triforce, unfortunately, shows up pretty quickly in this one, so I don't think we'll get to see it.
I can hope against hope. Oh, wait, no, it's right there. Yeah, never mind. Oh, well. Well, chat, take our word for it. The level 1 map is triple segmented, interestingly, just like level 2 is. If you want to find out for yourself, you can download the spoiler log.
What's really interesting about that level 1, I thought I'd comment on it real quick, is actually that room that you walk into does not have a connector over to the start room. It's one of those rare situations where it wasn't a staircase that took out the connection for free. It just doesn't have one.
Oh, yeah. That's very rare in level 1. Dave grabbing some more money. Got his bow in hand now.
Mr. Dunlow showing us why you don't half-tile bomb Dodongo on full bomb count. I always tease when people have like the full bombs and they're trying to get that perfect one bomb kill on the Dodongo.
It's just not worth the hassle. The term troll dongo is there for a reason. Because they know what they're doing. Oh, hi, Wizrobes.
Dave, in the meantime, is making that beeline towards the ultimate troll Goma that got him in the previous dungeon.
And Dunlow said hello to the blue Wizrobes by taking a death, unfortunately. Now I think I wonder if he's looking for another medium and going for a blue ring, possibly.
It could be that, or might be setting up to World Wrap again and kind of go for that level 8 play.
Yeah, it could be.
See if that's for free. The items in level 8 are close to the middle of the map.
Yeah, one's in the middle and one's near the top. So not really accessible. Can't really get there by the one transport either. So interesting to see if there's something in the way.
Well, you get two different options to go up there. You can either walk it out or you can go the transport way. So, I mean, it does reduce the amount of trolling that can happen, I suppose.
I'm sure one's bait blocked and one's Wizro blocked, or blue dark not blocked. But we'll
Dave's not even worried about that blue ring, as he put about 12 arrows into the Goma for the lulz before getting wrecked.
Speaking of beefy enemies, add the orange Goma to the list.
Yeah, I think he's just trolling by shooting the living daylights out of it in the meantime as well.
I mean, it's fun. Quote unquote.
Dunlow about to find that freebie of a Triforce in level 3 with all the blue dark nuts on the loose.
Looks like orange Wizrobes are also beefy. Looks like it. 3 white sword hits. Tough to tell.
I think
pretty sure it was more than 2. So
somewhere between 5 and 6 is everybody in the audience now gets to see these rather large level 6.
There's the compass. Let's see if they'll tell us. Oh, it's all in that little thing there. Through the shoot room.
Dunlow does have the blue ring now, so more defense. Here comes the candle boost. Loses half a heart, but is going to keep the sword. Just can't get eaten by a like lake.
Or eaten by a Wizrobe. Man.
This would be the ultimate room to die in after all that.
Yeah, it sure would. What'd you die to? Gels. And you gotta through the whole dungeon again.
The worst is when you have one of those diamond staircase blue Wizro rooms and you sneak through it only to like hurriedly go into a like triple trap room and just run straight into the trap and die.
I've done that many times. Not gonna lie.
I've gone now with a strat of the moment I get out of the staircase on the other side, I immediately hit pause just so I get a chance to figure out what I'm about to walk into.
Yeah. Or at least like try to walk up, so you're not on like if you start on a line of a blue Wizrobe, then you may not shoot. Oh, Dave tried to avoid the heart, but then he remembered I'm on comm, so he picked it up. Thanks, Dave. You're the best.
Whether it be that or the amount of Wizrobe and Lionel beams he's taken, he definitely decided it was for the best.
Now, you said the Triforce in 7 was close to start, right? I didn't see
Yep,
exactly
so I believe the Triforce, if you have the map, it's on like the right little leg of it, which is right past a staircase, which I believe to be the staircase to the item, which is the heart container.
Gotcha.
I initially thought it was a segmented dungeon, but it's in fact just the item.
Looks like, unfortunately, Dave is not going that direction, unless he finds a compass. Oh, look, the compass saved him. You're welcome, Dave. I mentioned it, and it showed up.
Yep, so he's going to walk to this room down, and down should be the item. I don't know what's in there. Ooh, this is going to be painful now. Yep, this is a nope.
Yeah, he got half tile there, and didn't quite get there in the right way. Luckily, it's not far away. Dunlow's got the Triforce out of 5. That's good.
I do appreciate how everybody kind of goes into the levels 1, 3, and 7 and still just kind of pushes against the wall just in case the randomizer breaks.
You want to be the one who finds out that something happened with the randomizer. I mean, I know I would. Oh, wow. Talk about not being guarded by much.
I think my favorite breaking so far that I have contributed is racing a seed where the second quest shenanigans happened because it got the instant grumble before you even read any further. But it ended up being that the two chutes aligned in level 4 such that it thought that you could get through them, but you could not.
Aha! My favorite was the glitch where you enter a staircase and pick up a key on the same frame, and that deletes the item in the staircase. I did that in a race. Deleted the silver arrows. Classic. Never forget it.
I believe Also has also done that. I believe he deleted the ladder because he didn't need it.
Well, I mean, I didn't do it intentionally.
And then my favorite still is the ladder block ladder, of course.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's a classic.
That was the initial heart shuffle invention, I think, that caused that.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I'm still sad that the that key that could delete the item. They're saying, "Oh, we're gonna call that the jerk key," but it never took off. So I'll just stick with hearts.
Us runners take our moral victories because Fred's randomizer is pretty darn good, so it's hard to find anything broken. So when you do find it, you feel special.
Very true. Can also appreciate that Dave plays with shuffled music as well, so he's not really in the title screen. He is playing the game. And I believe he's got level 9 music in the overworld, so that's always fun.
Yep, made the whole lever crossing. I guess
the drama was intense.
We're kind of messing around here while waiting for these compass finds in some of these dungeons now, as both runners kind of have the items they need out of the dungeons they're in. They're just trying to find their way to the Triforce. But do think this is still pretty close. The Triforce lead is probably slightly deceptive, just because I think that Dunlow had made up enough time where he probably isn't that far behind, but we'll see.
Yeah, it depends, I think, on how long he spends in the 6th, though, because I think he's not in the right area for the Triforce. So he's gonna have to get back to where the raft was, as I recall.
I don't know if Dave had to walk up or if he had to take the transport. It might have been both were plausible, but I don't remember where the chute is in there. I know I've seen it in this level 6.
So Dave's gonna be done with 5, so he's got 2 and 8 left.
Yeah, and then Dunlow has 6 and 5 right next to each other, and 5's Triforce I don't remember being super far in.
So I wonder if in Dave's position, Do you up a save and go to 2 now? I mean, he's only a little bit healthier than he was last time he tried to fight that horrible blue Dark Knight room. Or do you go to 8 and maybe get Red Ring first, possibly?
If it's me, I'm going to 8, and I'm going to try and head towards the 2 item staircases, and if I find the Triforce, then it really just depends on what the enemy set is in there. I might just opt away from it, or I might just go for it. Potion get here, I don't blame him. It's going to make it easier to survive if you don't find the red ring.
Yep, could be useful in that room in level 2. Dunno, in the meantime, having a lot of fun with these pancakes. They've been swarming him pretty heavily in this Wizrobe room. Ah, it phased right into him after all that work. Brutal.
Hopefully it doesn't go straight back to that room and maybe picks a different path. We'll hopefully then find the Triforce, or at least the compass.
It'd be a good move. Of course, we know too much. Dave is at level 8.
I mean, Dunlow's situation, he does have a map in front of him that he can look at, so may know that there's enough rooms available to him still. So looks like he's taking the staircase, and that will eventually get him there, assuming the chute is not in the way.
We do see a Dig Dogger in 8. That could be interesting if it's recorder required.
Of course, the recorder being in here kind of removes a little bit of the pain.
True. And if you're looking possibly for a red ring, you might get it anyway.
The first staircase is, I believe, up and right. No, it's up and right, I believe. Or was it just up? It's hard for me to see in this map.
Yeah, no, that's this one right here, yeah.
Takes the look. What we got? I think you picked up the flute just in case as well, so that's not 100%. A bad play.
Yep. You have no idea how bad you would feel finding it blocked by a Dig Dogger somewhere. It's like, oh, I didn't spend 10 seconds to pick it up.
There is the bait block. It's in level 6, so that's not going to be the troll.
Good to know. Looks like this old man is blocking the second item, the red ring.
Yep. This wall will go, though. And a bunch of Korea in the way. Got to be a little bit careful here. I would even use the potion since I know the trade-off's going to be the red ring.
Yeah, down to half a heart. Yeah, I think you got it burned. Yeah. He's thinking about it, I think, possibly. Blueberries, you don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with them. They, you know.
Well, Dave's going to go for it. They are up. Roll,
oh my god, they're what? I think they're 9 HP. Because they took 4 wood arrows and didn't die. Brutal.
Definitely plausible. I wasn't counting, but they're at least rolled up enough to take the at least more than 3 hits. The heart container is blocked by the Dig Dogger. That's a bit silly.
After all that work and not picking it up, disappointed.
Don't worry.
I'm
It'll come back to haunt him when he gets back to the Greer room, I'm sure.
That's I mean, a part of me hopes it does, and that's what you get.
Dig Dogger number 2. What will we get out of this one? Bit of a troll, and nothing. Dunlow finally does get that compass out of level 6 and will make his way towards the Triforce in here. I think that's really where the Dunlow lost some time against the other person on Restream.
Yeah, he just took a different path and was not the right way. So third Dig Dogger here in level 8. Nothing though. The bait, the triple bait.
And
there's a boss guarding the red ring, but it's just Aquamentus.
Would have been somewhat amusing if it was also a Dig Dogger blocking the red ring.
True.
Alas, we'll just have to sell for Aquamentus, but we have the red ring. With a red potion in hand, that should just about do it for deaths. I mean, we want to save a blue for red bubbles in 9, just in case, but you'd think that's pretty much going to spell the end for Dave dying.
I don't know. These blue gorillas, they have other plans.
Well, you were correct. He took 4 swings, and they didn't die to 4 swings with the white sword either, so it was the full 4.
They are overpowered. Please nerf.
If only we collected all the hearts for the magical sword to make it easier.
Yeah. Somehow I don't think that's going to happen. Dunlow's going to test out level 2. Probably be very not happy to see that the Triforce is blocked. I'm going to try to figure out how much HP these blue Dark Nuts have, because they were pretty beefy. Dave finds the map in 8. Pretty standard 8. Nothing real exciting there. Another Goma. Oh, I guess that was the Goma that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think Zelda is just going to try and get around. Yep, makes it around, and now we'll get the chance to fire for free. Can always hope for a 4-arrow Goma, but I think it didn't even make it to 1. May have gotten one of those point blanks. I didn't see.
Yeah. I guess blue Goma. Yeah, if blue Goma is -4, I guess 1 arrow is enough. Because they're normally, 5 HP, I think? 5 or 6.
Yeah, not too many in the way in first quest. I haven't played enough of that to know.
I know that they normally take 3 wood arrows. And since that's the only thing that hurts them, and whether they have 5 or 6 HP, I have no idea. Either answer is acceptable. Dave was doing quite the tour of this level 8. Hasn't found the compass or the Triforce yet.
That would be somewhat amusing, I guess, if it's off in that bottom left side and you just had to go over a couple of rooms and start to get it.
Yep. Beefy wall masters too.
Yeah, not too much rolled down outside of the Goma, the blue variant.
Yep. And the red Gorilla, and I think Zol's rolled down too, but with White Sword, that's not really that relevant. Wow. Like I said, he's only got the bottom left and the bottom right left. He's done everything at the top and found nothing. Dunlow getting the bad news that, oh, that's where the Triforce is. That's not good. Well, he's got a red ring, though. So, a red ring, 8 hearts. Shouldn't be as bad.
Yep, so
we haven't seen the wand yet. I guess that's not a high priority.
Both times the runners have gone up to that top segment of 2, and both times they got the compass and turned around.
Yeah. I guess with figure White Sword's good enough. I mean, I'd sure want to have the little bit extra offense, but
more so because of red bubbles, I'd kind of like to have it.
Yeah. And the using double hits against Dark Nuts could be useful too. And confirming, as you predicted, the Triforce is in the bottom left corner, right next to Stark, but not the direction he went. Still avoids the heart.
Made an effort to walk around it, I might add.
Yeah. I think he was just teasing me. He's like, I'm going to get as close to this heart as possible, but oops, I missed it. Ah, well, I can't go back and get it now.
Alright, so now a bit of a trek to level 2.
Probably faster to up A, but maybe you want to save the health. Yeah, no, it's up A.
Yeah, with a red potion in hand, I think you just brute force it with potion, red ring, and white sword, and you live with it.
With red ring, yeah, it's not so bad. Just don't get hit.
Yeah, I mean, just look at what Dunlow's doing here. We've still got the full complement of health.
He didn't take a single hit. I don't know if he just picked up health, but it made it look easy.
Yep, showing Dave what a true runner looks like.
Make a note to mention that to him.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tease him quite a bit. But first, he's got to get through the seed, and we still don't have silvers because they are in everybody's favorite spot.
Level 9. I should look at level 9 map.
It doesn't look too out of the ordinary for once, because I think level 7 and level 8 kind of vertically stacked. It didn't really go super small.
Yeah. So you start on the normal path in the bottom. And the two items are A and F. A is at the top, and F is on the left. So, looks like a pretty linear path through 9 too.
I said it wasn't that small. I think it actually is. It looks like it's predominantly in 5 columns, and then there's just little.
Yeah, I'm counting rooms. 20, 25, 27, 31, 36, 42 rooms. Looks like.
Yeah, looking back at 7 and 8 again, it looks like both of them are basically 5 columns, so that I guess is why we had it shrink a little bit more than I realized.
Yep.
Now, the fairy's going to take away all the suspense out of this room for Dave, and back at full health again.
You will be off to level 9.
Yep, so I suspect our tracker for this one, which is Cammy and Redekai, is going to switch it back over to Dave here shortly for the Roar of Ganon.
We need to know what level 9 music is. The suspense.
Yeah, let's see. I want to say maybe a vanilla dungeon music.
Well, no, I think he used level 9 for the overworld, so I would think it's got to be something else. It's probably just
like vanilla dungeon.
Oh, vanilla dungeon. I got you.
Nope, vanilla overworld. There you go.
See, there you go.
All right, so definitely listening for Gan's Roar, but that's not priority number 1 yet.
Nope, priority is find those 2 staircases and give over some of your infinite keys.
Yep. So from what I can tell, it looks like the staircases we are looking for are on the far left side.
Yeah, I saw far left and far north.
And then the other one, you almost want to take a staircase B to B, essentially. A staircase in the middle to staircase in the top. Saves you one.
And by the way, Dunlow immediately found the Triforce in 8 and said, "Thank you very much. See you later." So, a lot of time made up there.
Assuming there's no dig dog or block as Virus or Squish.
Yep. First item check. Good guess.
Alright, so now there's not a lot of super trolly spots that Zelda can be.
Top left, maybe? I'd say top left.
Bottom middle is probably the worst off spot. With
bottom next to your start screen. That would be an interesting spot too.
It would kind of lend itself to the whole. Well, I guess not since the old man room's one up, but some people believe in that. If the game doesn't let you go a direction, as we find Zelda up there at center point somewhere. Some people feel like that's kind of like a lead-in to you can't go that way, so it must mean that Zelda or Ganon are there.
It definitely seems like it does that intentionally sometimes, but not all the time.
So with where Zelda is here, it looks like she's kind of blocking off a route up on the left side. You have to go through the right instead.
Well, I mean, there's a staircase in the bottom left to go to the top left, so I wonder if that's required. There's actually 2 staircases.
That would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Ganon can pretty much be anywhere in the second row of the dungeon. On the top, starting from the top, I should say. It could be across the second row in a couple of those rooms. Could be right next to a couple staircases up there. Otherwise, yeah, might just be all the way down close-ish to start.
And hey, another enemy you might want to have wanted the wand for, Patra. but didn't seem to be too beefy. So
And Dunlow now with the silver, so really made up a ton of time in 8. So they traded where they kind of gained and lost time over one another.
yep, shaping up to a possible exciting finish.
Dunlow about to find Zelda, I believe.
Yep.
And where Dave's at, if he doesn't hear a roar to the right, then Ganon is way up in the top left, or he's got to take the staircase over there. And of course, what would 9 be without more Patra and Shutter Door shenanigans?
Of course.
We did find Zelda, to answer Oasis in chat. It's right next to a staircase, and there are 3 ways in. You'll be able to see the second way in momentarily if Dave goes left, which of course you won't.
Ah, but Patra was masking Ganon's roar.
So this is going to be a really quick route between Ganon and Zelda, assuming Dave doesn't get bodied through potions. The double moat room is perhaps not the favored room to fight Ganon, but it's better than the circle moat or the Chevy, I would think.
I think just any room with water in it is just bad. Yeah, it's so easy to get stuck on your own ladder. But Dave, being the professional that he is, not a problem.
So with that, this shutter door now opens to allow him access to the shutter door that opens with enemies in the room. And Dave looks to be finishing up here shortly.
And finish he does with a time of 55 minutes and 1 second, which is actually 45:01 with the 10-minute start. GG Dave, first place overall and on the restream. Well done.
I don't think Dunlow's going to be much more than a minute or 2 behind that time as well. It just seems like Dunlow's on the correct pathway to get there.
Yep. As we are joined by Mr. Panzer Dave, GG.
GG, thank you, Bohio and all that.
Bohio and all that. You skipped the heart twice, Dave. I'm very disappointed in you.
Sorry, it's a waste
You're
of time.
not sorry. I don't want to hear it.
Look, I picked up a lot of hearts that scene. Combat was not easy for once.
No, it was not. How many HP was the blue dark nuts? I lost count.
12?
Was it 12?
Yeah,
wouldn't be surprised.
I think it was 11 or 12 is where they found. That's why I gave up on 2. I was like, no, that's just not conductive to my time right now. I can come back with a red ring.
You used a lot of weaponry the first time you were in that room, and it seemed like you made no progress at all.
No, none at all. And of course the wand's in 2, but who knows where that is.
I think it has to be in the top part of it after the compass, because both of you found the compass and immediately turned around.
Yeah, pretty sure that's where it was, or it was through the staircase to the last segment in that one room.
Could have been the Goma, maybe, in the lower.
No,
nope.
Dunlow cleared the Goma. It wasn't there.
Well, I thought about it. I was like, no, that's just still a waste of time.
Yeah.
That Ganon behind the Patra Roar is interesting. If you take staircase, what is it? B according to this map, the one I was in, you could have gotten there easier, but you know, the Patra masked that roar pretty well if you went the way I went.
Well, then you got to get silvers first anyway. I think that if you get silvers first, then well, I guess that's true. Knowing that Zelda blocks that area.
Yeah, well, she doesn't completely block it, but you know, I forget what the other item in 9 was, but you know, it wasn't relevant. Book. Oh, that's right. So book was, according to my research, staircase A.
Right next to Ganon, probably, right?
Yeah, right next to Ganon.
Yep. He has his own library.
Yep, and he can keep that book.
For all the good it did him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the race on Restream, for what it's worth to you, came down to I think Dunlo got a quick advantage with the arrows and the bow earlier than you did because he didn't have to go back to 6 with the Walk of Shame to the coast.
So annoying.
But he basically Walk of Shame the entirety of 6's design before finding the wing with the compass and the Triforce.
Oh, I knew it was down there. The second I saw that stupid outlet, I was like, I know where it is. I just want confirmation on where it is. And sure enough, the stupid freaking...
Well, the Dunlo is down about 5 or 6 minutes to you there. However, Dunlo did just go left in 8 and avoid the entirety of 8. So
yeah, that makes up time, obviously. And then level 9, just, I got lucky with my routing, I guess, because found the silvers. I mean, there's no way you don't look at the first staircase.
My guess is you and Dunlo essentially had the exact same room count of 9, as we are joined by Mr. Dunlo, who did finish second with the 5807, reduced to 4807 after you take out the 10-minute spoiler read.
GG, Dunlo.
Thanks. That felt like I had a pretty good logical approach on the level ordering and stuff. Little conservative. I worked in a blue ring purchase, but 5 deaths in a spoiler log is not ideal, but there is some tricky combat in there. I took a couple dumb overworld ones, but sort of routed it back well enough. I was glad the white sword was 5 hearts, not 6. So yeah, it felt pretty solid overall. So yeah, good stuff, I think.
I think you getting the blue ring, the one you did, because you 3 room level 8 where the red ring was, and didn't get the red ring there. I think that really helped, because that combat could have been a lot more interesting in level 9 and elsewhere without a blue ring.
Yeah, for sure. It almost I was kind of trying to do what the seed told me to do. Like in level 6, I guess I could have hung around, but I knew I was at like 220 whatever on the rupees and had gotten the raft and bailed out. Then I saw level 5 and I was like, this is just dumb to battle wizards when I have this much money. And then I kicked in. Yeah, so level 8, I figured in a large field race, a lot of people are going to work toward the items when they know it's a red ring. So I checked out that little part at the bottom first, thinking like, all right, maybe the blue ring could be an edge here because I'm not going to gravitate toward the red ring. And so that worked out swimmingly. Level 6, not so much, but yeah, 8 worked out like task fast almost. So that was cool.
Yeah, the red ring was the far item in level 8 as well. You had to go traverse pretty much the entire dungeon to get up there to get it. So you definitely saved a bunch of time there.
Yeah, it sounds like something the game would do, right? I was shocked that the silvers were the first item I stumbled into in the 9. The game is never that friendly, so that worked out.
Yeah, it ended up being that the other item was right next again. Anyway, we figured it was his personal library was right next to his room.
Ah, yes, of course, yeah. Keeping the literature close at hand, but no, it was a fun race. I was happy to hang with Dave on this thing because Dave is good at Zelda, for lack of a more detailed way to describe it. So yeah, when I came in there, and I wasn't even leaving the race room open because there's no like. Sometimes I'll do that in a bigger race to like metagame like where an item might be, which we all know that has its pros and cons. So I didn't even have the race room open until I entered Zelda's room, and I was like, oh, cool, second place. Like, yeah, we're happy with that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure. I got red ring, which I needed for that level 2, man. That level 2 just.
Level
Dunlo did an excellent job in 2 with the blue ring and at 7 hearts. I don't think he took a single hit in that room, did you?
No, that was a weird one. I almost like slowed down to speed up. I was like, let me just keep the beam swords. Like when I found the compass, instead of doing an up A to get a shorter path back to the Triforce room, I kept the full health. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's just try to not get hit here. So yeah, I felt like that worked out well. And that was sort of another thing where the item, I mean, we love a wand, but at that point in this seed, I knew the nasty friends were blue wizards in this one anyway. So I was like, all right, well, wand's not going to help me on those guys. Let's just get the Triforce and get out of here.
Yeah, I guess the only reason to get the wand would have been if Dark Nuts had been in 9. That would have been a bit annoying. but wasn't the case tonight, so it didn't matter. Yeah,
the white sword being on the overworld works out well. I think that might even, I didn't even read the flags. I think it might have been, I don't know if it was forced there or what, but it was there this time. So
white sword is forced to be white sword. Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't even over-examine it. I actually didn't even look to see if Heart Shuffle was on until I pulled out the items, and I was like, all right, cool. They're all pretty evenly distributed. I still did the idiot-proof check. I was like, let me just make sure. But yeah, I sort of prioritize overworld in these things. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence, but I'm just faster at the game with a ring. And when I saw the ring was in an item blocked level, I was like, all right, let's go buy a ring. And with the bow being free, you want to get arrow money. So probably chugged out like 7 or 8 minutes before I even touched the dungeon. But I think that time came back around on the other side. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I think if the red ring had been earlier in 8, then that play may not have been as good. But since it was deep in 8, I think it worked out for you.
Yeah, it was cool. So it'll be interesting to watch it back. It sounds like I was probably way behind Dave, and then 8 was really good, and we made it a little spicy. So it's always good when you can finish a couple minutes apart on the restream and make it a little interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you were in 9 and found Zelda like a minute apart, something like that. It was pretty close.
Cool, good stuff. We can live with that. So yeah, but spoiler log super fun. I don't always know how it comes across when folks might watch it and be like, "Oh, these guys are finishing so fast. I could never do that." But just remember, if you're watching this and you're either on the rookie side or you're thinking about playing Z1R, we knew where all the stuff was. So don't be too intimidated by the sub hours and stuff. Anyone can do this game. It's awesome. It's fun. It's the best. So appreciate y'all doing comms and the restream and the entire team. So yeah, it was fun.
One question I guess I'll pose to both of you is if there's someone that's looking at this flag set, looking at the setup, and they have reservations, one thing you can kind of give them as advice as far as maybe either reading the spoiler log or maybe how to approach kind of digesting the information, since you get about 10 minutes to do it.
Dave, you want to go first?
Oh gosh, I would say probably your best bet is to map out high money, white sword. I always map out silvers. I think any key is a huge one as well to figure out early. It eliminates key problems.
Especially since that's something you don't know about from the spoiler log. You have no idea how many keys you need.
Correct. And I think between a ring, a white sword, and any key are your big, like, these are really good to have moments, along with money. Obviously, if bow and silvers are available early too, then you can get a decent, 4 damage weapon that can take care of a lot of things. Not everything, but a lot of things. It's also worth noting, if there's red bubbles, a potion. Either a take any one or the potion shop with the letter. Just in case you get bubbled. But those are usually my focuses. Like, I don't know if the restream saw my tracker or not, but it's more or less just the levels, where to buy arrows just in case we needed to. And spoiler alert, it turned out we needed to buy arrows because of the raft issue.
A brilliant move, not gonna lie.
And then, like, take any roads. And if you're reading the take any roads, and I don't know if you know this or not, Mr. Dunlow, but the order that they are listed in cave-wise are the order that they teleport you to.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, interesting, because it has made me wonder, having seen a bunch of these through the Routers Battle Royal, I've tried to almost like, can I meta that in a live race and be like, but it doesn't matter, because if you find one, you just take one. But yeah, it's definitely good to know for these things, because that can save you a couple seconds. The only item I'd add to what Dave said there is if the ladder weren't super free, I would prioritize going to whatever dungeon that was. Obviously, when it's the Armos tonight, everybody's going to go get it quickly. But even when you have a map, another thing it doesn't show you is ladder blocks. So, but yeah, I totally agree on Magic Key. And that's one that wasn't obvious to me at first. But definitely, like in this one where all the items are in staircases, once you have a magic key, if you get a compass in that dungeon, you're only clearing one more room unless you run into a shutter. In terms of physically doing it, I would recommend rolling a couple of these, and even if you don't have time to play a bunch of them, just take like 3 or 4 of them and roll them and get used to how you want to map it out. And just like map a seed and bail. Like I was talking to King Doll about this the other day, and he and I look for basically the same stuff Dave listed, but we do it in an entirely different order or like a method. I have a little checklist, and it's a TXT file it loads up, and I push Control F and search for things I'm looking for. So I search for like take any and then mark those, and then I search for bomb, and then I look at what shop the bomb is in, and I go mark that shop. So I don't know, maybe that's just because that's how I got away with reading like 20% of the content I was assigned for homework sometimes is just control F-ing parts. Wait, I didn't say that. I'm a teacher now. Oh, what will we call it? We will call that precise active reading. We won't call that late. We'll call it efficiency. How about that? But
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's how I work. So yeah, I'm a control F side of things, but I know some people just like to scroll through. For me, it kind of all runs together because there's so many caves we don't care about. Like if it's a cave I'm not going to, I don't care whether it's a door repair or an 8 rupee secret and stuff like that. So just to kind of keep that stuff from clouding my eyeballs, I search the document instead of scrolling through the entire list of caves.
And you also looking at the way you played the seed. If you're a rookie or less sure of yourself, immediately getting money for a blue ring, getting the white sword as soon as possible, not going into dungeons until you're more prepared. That's definitely a good way to play the seed, and you showed that tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Like all the stuff is out there, so you might as well get it. And this one just looked like it was going to be tricky, even not knowing the enemy sets. Anytime an item out of 6 is going to unlock 8. And the other thing is, I would buy arrows anytime silvers are in 9. If I played one of these, I might not buy them as early as I did tonight when I knew the bow was going to be free. But there's just so many ways that having arrows once you have the bow can help you out with pulse voice and blocks from gomas and all that fun stuff,
or just for straight combat in general. If the white sword isn't free, or if a wand isn't free, it's definitely good to have.
Yeah, for sure. That was why I got the last large secret. Those were just 90 some arrows I was going to pick up. But yeah, it really shows you how in a first quest overworld, and I've heard Fury say this on comms before, like there's never money problems in a first quest overworld unless you sort of create the problems, or the large secret's like 50 or whatever. There's tons of money out there, except when we're playing second quest overworld. So yeah, buy your stuff, buy your defense, buy your offense, and have fun.
Yeah, I think that particularly rings true in a spoiler log. If you're hitting door repairs, I mean, that's just kind of a shame on you moment. So you should have enough money. You maybe have to collect a handful of medium secrets if the large kind of rolls low, but
or your mapping is one off.
I will definitely say, because I use Z Helper, and I have the markings on it that says A1, A2, and that's in the spoiler log as well. And so there's really, like, once you become efficient reading those, you shouldn't be making mistakes because it tells you what cave is what.
Yeah, it won't save you from walking the wrong way out of the staircase in 6 to find the Goma block staircase.
No, it won't.
But it will save you on the overworld.
We know exactly the moment when Dave read his map of 6.
Yeah.
When he went the wrong way to get to the item.
Yeah, I was like, I need to make a right here. Nope, I needed to make a left. And then I saw the Goma and I cried a little on the inside. Yeah, I was like, well, thanks, game.
And then we said, why didn't you get the bow when you had the chance?
Because I died on the overworld.
Oh, yeah, but you could have... You went to get the white sword. You could have world wrapped from there. But then you decided to go elsewhere.
Yeah, of course. Because it's like, it's like... I can just go in and get the raft, and then world raft to get the bow, and go to 8 and get the red ring. No, the game said you're not doing that.
It's all about efficiency, right? That's
why I didn't get more than 7 hearts.
Yeah, the only thing I'd add
I guess
is
I'll
that,
allow it.
yeah, the only thing I'd add to that is it also depends on kind of the flags that get rolled. Like for this setup, I think the order's pretty sound, but a lot of the times when we play spoiler logs, the people who make the flags just decide it'd be super fun to put extra bosses in there. So sometimes I tend to rank the flute just a little bit higher up on the list than maybe most would, just between movement on the overworld, which in this case was not particularly helpful unless you had to go back to 5, 6, or 7. But the flute can give you that extra transportation around the overworld, and it eliminates all the trolley dodongos, the dig doggers that are in. In this case, they were all over level 8. They didn't really prohibit you, but they can prohibit you from getting an item. I think in one spoiler log, they blocked the red ring, which was in level 2, so a lot of people had to skip that, and then 9 was Wizrobe infested and prohibited people from getting done at a time they wish they would, because, again, you're trying to be efficient, not go through and get heart containers, and it comes back to bite you in the end sometimes if the combat gets really awful. But do appreciate the feedback, because I know there are some people that are kind of tentative when it comes to some of these different flag sets. I won't call them difficult, but they're just different. So maybe that'll inspire a couple more people to jump in for the next week or the following week if they're busy. And we'll see if someone can take out either Dave or TA, since it seems like they've been kind of running these so far. Almost pulled it off tonight. Perhaps next week.
You never know.
I was trying. The other thing is still read your flags. The thing I have to tell on myself for is I had absolutely no idea second quest walls were on until I bombed a wall in 4 that said it was going to go north on my map, and I was like, I think I like up-aid backward. I assumed I had taken the wrong turn, and then I was like, oh, I got to push through that thing. So yeah, read your flags. But yeah, like you were saying, in general, if anybody's hesitant to play the weird flags, I think that's what keeps it fun. I also think you learn a lot about the randomizer and a lot about the game. I certainly, I don't play any other games, and I've been playing this game for like 5 years straight. And if I played Consternation, no offense, Consternation's a good flag set, but if I played Consternation every single time, I don't think that would have happened 5 years later. So yeah, it keeps it fresh, and you get better at the game. So if anybody's listening to this still, come on out next week. It's fun.
Absolutely. And thank you for being on our restream tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, y'all.
And thank you, Dave, as well.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. See you all next... no, not next week. Well, maybe. Darts is starting earlier for me, so maybe I'll get home in time. We'll see.
Okay. We'll hope to see you here. How about that?
Exactly. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And Fury, always a pleasure.
Yep, we'll see what happens next week. We'll see if we can't get maybe a dozen or so people. And it looks like people are still kind of trickling in on the finish times over there. So hopefully they get finished up here shortly, and we'll see what happens next week.
Yep. I might, maybe I'll play next week instead of doing commentary. We'll see.
Yep. Thanks again to Camion, Renakai behind the scenes. Thanks again to everybody at Speed Gaming. The schedules are going to be really busy pretty much all week. We're in the midst of SG Live Online, so make sure you take a look at the schedule and see when all the matches for all the different tournaments ongoing kind of populate, and pick and choose. You'll have a lot of content out there.
Including Z1R. They did the bracket reveal tonight, so look out for some bracket-style races. Should be interesting.
Yep. With that, I'm Fury. He's CJ, and we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.
Gotta have heart. See y'all later.